Procrastination. We all do it. Some of us occasionally, and some of us a lot.
Do you procrastinate?
Yes, I do procrastinate.
All the time.
All the time?
All the
Yeah.
time.
Yes, a lot. All the time.
On occasion.
It's a passion of mine.
Okay.
It depends on the situation.
I'm Miss Bailey, I'm a guidance counselor, and today we're going to tackle your procrastination.
Why do you think you procrastinate?
I think I'm okay doing work in the last minute. I always get my work in and get good enough results. But I think procrastinating, it helps me relax during a stressful period more than most people do.
I would give that excuse that everyone always gives about I work best under pressure, but in reality I have no idea.
Really just don't want to do projects. They're not fun. I know I have to do them, but I really don't want to.
Yeah, if it's a boring task, then of course you're going to want to do something more exciting first, something actually fun.
We all procrastinate for a reason, and most of these reasons fit into the Ape Fit principle. We procrastinate because of amount or feeling overwhelmed, perfection or feeling the need to produce a perfect product, our energy levels or focus, failure, having failed in the past, or fear of failure in the future, interest or lack thereof, or simply the blank page or not having started something.
How do you feel when you know you're procrastinating?
I feel really bad while I'm doing it, but I also feel really good that I don't know. I know that I shouldn't be procrastinating, I know that I shouldn't be doing it, but I can't really stop myself from doing it, So, I feel really bad while I'm doing it, but I don't know how to not feel bad.
I'm unapologetic.
I'd say a bit anxious for sure. There's always that looming presence of the project just hanging over you at all times.
Yeah, because you know that you should be working, but you're not. So it just makes you even more stressed out, but you can't do anything to stop the stress.
Okay.
But it's just like an endless cycle.
The interesting thing about procrastination is that worry and looming priorities actually exhaust your brain as much as actually doing the work. And the more we worry and the more time we spend doing that, especially if we're spending more time worrying than it would take to actually complete the task, just makes us more exhausted and less motivated to complete it. So how do we tackle Ape Fit, or the reasons we procrastinate? It's as easy as ABCDEFG. A. Anything. Start writing anything. Whether that's one sentence on a page, one math question, or a couple of ideas for a project, just start. Starting is the hardest part of a project or task, but after you start something, your brain actually gives you a little chemical reward that pushes you to keep going on that task. B. Backwards plan. Think about what result you want at the end of your project or task, whether that's having completed 40 math questions or having written a novel, and plan backwards from the end date or the time it is due. If it's not due at a certain time and it's an open-ended project, create a deadline for yourself and plan backwards to the present. C. Chunk. Chunk your tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces that you can complete in one sitting. I like the 30-minute chunk because you can actually sit down and commit to it with minimal disruptions. D. Double time. Give yourself double the time you think it's going to take to complete a task to actually complete it. That means if I think I need 3 hours to complete something, I'm going to give myself 6 hours to complete it. I'm going to schedule those into a planner or a calendar, and I'm going to stick to my schedule. That way, if I fall behind because of something that comes up that I didn't foresee, I still have more than enough time to complete the task and hopefully improve it. E. Effects. Think about the effects of completing a task or not completing a task. For example, if you don't complete your research paper, will you lose 20% of your mark? Or if you do study for chemistry, will you get a better mark on the test? Write down the effects of not doing something and the effects of completing something and put them in front of you so you can see them. And that will motivate you to continue. F. Find motivation. If the actual completion of the task is not motivating enough for you, find something of interest to you within the task. Or if you're able to change your project, change it to something you are interested in. If you're interested in marks, think about those. If you're interested in pursuing a certain area of knowledge, think about that and incorporate it into your task. Find something. Find anything. It helps. And G. Get accountable. Work with friends, collaborate, and set your own deadline. Some pressure is actually really good for starting and completing tasks. That's why a lot of people say they work well under pressure. But there's actually an optimal amount of pressure that's better achieved through time management and collaboration than it is through working the last minute. When other people know you're supposed to be doing something and they can remind you, it helps you to do it. And when you set your own deadlines and try to keep yourself personally accountable to the deadlines you've committed to, that helps too. If you raise the stakes and you set a deadline that's public or performative, that's even better. So work with friends to motivate each other, work in groups, have people remind you of what you need to do and ask you how they can support you, and establish your own mini deadlines. There are a number of apps that do this kind of time management and task management, and you can find a couple in the links below. That's all for procrastination. So figure out the reason why you're procrastinating using the Ape Fit principle, and once you figure it out, use ABCDEFG to stop. Thanks for watching.